Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Hi, I'm Shelby Hernandez, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. The election is only a couple of weeks away, and the students here at the MediaPlex hosted a town hall debate for the candidates of Ward 3. Jeff Gravel reports.
St. Clair students take the reins for a political debate. Monday evening, students from the journalism program at the St. Clair College MediaPlex hosted an open debate for the candidates for Ward 3. In attendance were Gabe Maggio, Reno Bortolin, Carolyn Postma, and Claude Reno. Program coordinator Veronique Mendel sees the timing of the debate as a fortuitous opportunity for young journalists to gain real-time experience.
It's very rare that journalism students get an opportunity to take part in this kind of a debate and to actually host a debate, because many of them come into journalism school and their time here ends before an election takes place.
Dave Harrison, a journalism professor at the MediaPlex, agrees that the experience of hosting the debate is invaluable to the students.
The college is hosting this event, but more importantly, the MediaPlex and the students here at the MediaPlex are hosting the event because this is a real election with real candidates. There are real issues, and it gives the students real life experience, and that's what we try to replicate here at the school. We do a show, and they get to have the kind of experience that they can expect to have when they get into their professions and into the business of broadcasting and journalism.
First-year journalism student Jonathan Hutton co-hosted the event.
I am very honored to be here and doing this. The college is a wonderful program. You know, not a lot of kids have an opportunity to do this, especially at my age. It was a wonderful evening, and I wouldn't trade this experience for the world.
The debate will go to air on Wednesday, October 8th at 4 p.m. and repeated on Friday, October 10th at 2 p.m. on Cogeco Cable 11. Students from the MediaPlex will be hosting a live debate with Windsor's mayoral candidates on Monday, October 20th, live at 6:30 p.m. I'm Jeff Gravel reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
We're now going to take a look at the early weather with John Hutton, who's standing at the corner of Victoria and University. What's the weather like, John?
Well, thanks, Shelby. Right now, there's a 30% chance of rain this evening, and it's currently 14 degrees, but it will be dropping down to 8 degrees later on tonight. Keep those umbrellas and those coats on standby. It's a sunny day so far, but that could change at any moment. I'm Jonathan Hutton, throwing it back to you, Shelby. I'll be back later on in the show with your 3-day forecast.
Addictions of many kinds are a challenge that cities like Windsor face. As Sean Garrity reports, the war on drugs is being taken seriously.
Ice, glass, crank. Those are few of the many nicknamed terms to describe crystal meth, which is becoming a new drug of choice for addicts in Windsor.
If you have ever watched the Hollywood hit series Breaking Bad, you would know exactly what crystal meth is. Stanley from Windsor, whose real name cannot be mentioned, says the glass-formed substance has gained mass popularity because of its prolonging high.
They're not getting high as they would if they buy crystal meth, where they're going to get higher for a longer time.
Stanley says he collects cans with his bicycle to support his habit. The narcotic can be used in several ways, but he uses it intravenously, and it has caused him future health problems.
He gave me the needle, and as I was pulling it out of my arm, he then had told me that he had to use that needle and I might want to go to the hospital to get checked out. And I did find myself positive with Hep C.
Dr. Tony Hammer, a Windsor MD addictionologist who specializes in the treatment of addiction, says the drug is a stimulant and it was unusual to see in Windsor 5 years prior.
These stimulants, I'd say Ritalin, cocaine, amphetamines and crystal meth, you've got the regional availability and it is commoner in rural areas, and I think that's partly why you didn't see much of it here, but recently that has changed.
Dr. Hammer is not the only person who believes the drug is available. The Windsor police also are recognizing the lethal narcotic.
We're aware that it's within the city. We know it's here. We are engaged in investigating, and we're asking people in the community, because of the dangers associated with crystal meth, if you're aware of people who are dealing, if you're aware of people who are possessing, to definitely call us and we will actively do what we can.
People who choose to sell this drug can find themselves in a load of trouble. The maximum penalty for trafficking or producing methamphetamines is 10 years. From MediaPlex News, I'm Sean Garrity.
The cause of the recent fire at the Auto Hut Clinic has been determined, and as Mandy Matthews reports, it was no accident.
As you can see here, the burnt scene at the Auto Hut Clinic has been released and boarded up, but the investigation is still ongoing. The Windsor Fire and Police tell me that the fire that caused an internal explosion has been deemed arson. Just after 1 a.m. Monday, police and fire crews were called to the 1500 block of Howard Avenue on the corner of Hannah Street East. Debris from the explosion was blown out onto the street, and the next morning, with the choking smell of smoke still in the air, the Police Arson Unit and Technical Safety Standards Authority were called in.
They are looking at different aspects from inside the building, looking at different things that could have caused the explosion, like pooling gas, fumes, things like that.
Windsor Fire tweeted the damage to be estimated at $350,000. 80-year-old Earl Laframboise has owned the building for 60 years, and at first glance of the fire damage, Laframboise didn't have much to say, but his brother Bob did.
The building blew up. There was an explosion. They don't know what the cause of it yet. They said there's just some buildup of fumes or something.
Auto Hut Clinic's owner and mechanic Bahram Makhtari says he keeps his garage clean.
No hazardous is in there. All is out. I have no gas in there. Nothing hazardous in there. Nice and clean, I keep it.
And local resident Piroshka Spila says she doesn't think it was intentional because she always sees a lot of cars in the shop.
Some people burn down their business, but they wouldn't want to lose any business. The tools doesn't burn.
With the investigation still ongoing and no one of interest, Makhtari is left with broken cars and burnt newspapers. Mandy Matthews, MediaPlex, News Now.
Many students find choosing a college stressful. Yesterday, St. Clair hosted a college information program. Justin Prince reports.
It's better to go into a college program knowing what you're going to be in for, more than going in blind. More than 1,000 high school students from across Windsor-Essex County attended the College Information Program in St. Clair College's Classic Gym, October the 6th. Students had the opportunity to speak with program representatives from across the college. As well, 23 other colleges in Ontario took part in the event, allowing students to find out about every program available in the province. Katie Jacobs, a 17-year-old high school student at St. Thomas of Villanova, showed interest in the journalism program. Jacobs says it was better to talk to a person face-to-face about the different programs available.
I really feel a lot comfortable. I was a bit nervous coming here, but I'm really happy about this because I got a whole bunch of notes of all information that I was looking for, a lot better than the website. The website's good, but it's better to speak to a person face-to-face to get the information I was looking for. So yes, this is fantastic.
Sandy McDonald, a professor in the landscape horticultural program at the college, says he answers a lot of questions about the program. McDonald says a lot of students found out about the program through events like this.
I think a lot of the students who have been by, they've just sort of seen us by chance. They've just sort of walked by and they've noticed some plant material setting there, and they've had an interest maybe in gardening, that sort of thing. So I don't think a lot of them have been targeted. They haven't noticed on the list and come to see us, but it's more or less by chance as they're walking by, which I think is true for a lot of the programs here.
According to Say Manning, the coordinator of the event, the deadline to register for Ontario College programs is February 1st, 2015. Now, with many choices for different programs available, such as service worker and educational support, the question is for many students, what program will they be attending come this next fall? For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Justin Prince.
Joey Wright is the election's youngest candidate. Miller Hill had the chance to sit down with him in this edition of 3 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Miller Hill, and today we are spending 3 minutes with Ward 5 candidate Joey Wright. So Joey, you were the youngest candidate running in this election, and this is your first time. How has this affected your campaign?
It's been a very positive feedback from everybody. Being the youngest candidate means that I have new ideas, fresh opinions, which people are looking for, especially in Ward 5. Personally, it's allowed me to connect with new people and to meet new people and to get out and volunteer. And I think that for my future, it's just going to be a positive. I think that running in this campaign has definitely opened my eyes to the possibilities and the opportunities here in Windsor.
Now, being openly gay, has this had a negative or a positive effect running for candidate?
It actually hasn't had any effect whatsoever.
No?
No one's talked about it. It hasn't been a positive, hasn't been a negative. I think that we're at that point in time now where it doesn't really matter. We have an openly lesbian premier. No one talked about that until everything was all said and done with the provincial election. So, you know, it's on my flyer. It's not something that I hide from everybody, but it's at that point now where I think people just don't really consider that when they're casting their vote. Yeah. They look at the candidates themselves, what they stand for in their platform, and they try and make the best informed decision that they can.
Okay, now do you think if we weren't in this time, like previous years, do you think that would have effect?
I think it would. I think if you were to go back 20 years, 25 years, 30 years from now or ago, it would have had an impact. It would have had, I would assume, a negative effect on the campaign, and I think it would be a campaign issue that would be polarizing to the community, and it would definitely separate the community as to whether or not they vote for me because I'm gay or because I'm not gay, and rather than my platform itself.
Yeah, that is true. Now, what motivated you to run for ward councillor?
I've always been involved politically, whether it's student council or keeping up to date on elections, whether it be municipal, provincial, federal. I think for me personally, it's a way to get involved in my community, to make a difference, make a change, have my voice heard. It also provides me the opportunity to meet new people and work with new organizations on bettering the community, whether it's through volunteer work or different community organizations or activism.
Okay. Now, what issues strike your attention?
A lot of the issues in Ward 5 are basically the issues you'd hear throughout the city. Roads, sewers, infrastructure in general. There's been quite a big issue with flooded basements in my area. That's becoming a more prominent issue. The construction of a fire hall has ruffled some feathers with some residents. That keeps popping up. But as well, communication. I'm finding a lot of people just want to be able to communicate with their counselor and with their council as a whole.
Okay, well, that's all I have for today. So thank you, Joey. I'm Miller Hill, and we've just spent 3 minutes with Ward 5 candidate Joey Wright.
The push to legalize marijuana has come to Windsor. Kenneth Bullock reports.
The second annual Marijuana March was held recently at David Kroll Park in Windsor. Participants brought signs promoting legalization for recreational, medicinal, and economical means. March organizer Alex Newman said marijuana should be legalized.
It's a matter of individual choice, and I feel that the choice whether to smoke marijuana or not shouldn't be something in the hands of the government. It should be a person's choice. But also for the economic reasons, moral reasons, and just practically, prohibition doesn't work.
Before the march, special guests came to rev up the crowd, including a poet, bands, and even comedians. Local comedian and legalization advocate John Pelado said maybe Windsor should take a new step.
Opened up their eyes and really opened up their hearts, if you will, to the concept of people who smoke marijuana recreationally. So, I've been to tons of other places with lounges and places where people can gather and do just like what you're seeing today. You know what I mean? But in a place where it's regulated, and it's okay, even though we're not getting rid of laws or changing anything. And I think it's time for Windsor to make that step.
Marchers went down Wyandotte, over to Riverside, and back to David Kroll Park. Reporting for MediaPlex News Now, I'm Kenneth Bullock.
In this edition of Health Minute, Catherine Sokolowski tells us about the benefits of kale.
Kale was once called the poor people food, but now it's the new trend. Celebrities like Angelina Jolie, Woody Harrelson, Gwyneth Paltrow are all eating kale to feel better and keep the sleek physique needed for stardom. Did you know National Kale Day is celebrated on the first Wednesday of October? Kale has many benefits. Here are some of them. It can help lower cholesterol levels. The fibers in kale bind bile acids and helps lower blood cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. Kale is a detox food. It's filled with fiber and sulfur, which are great for detoxifying your body and keeping your liver healthy. It's low in calories. A cup of chopped kale has only 33 calories, great for weight loss. It's great at fighting many cancers. Kale is rich in organosulfur compounds, which are known to fight cancer, especially colon cancer. It's great for helping digestion and elimination. It is very high in fiber. There are some things to be wary of. Too much vitamin K can cause problems for anyone taking anticoagulants such as warfarin because the high levels of vitamin K may interfere with the drug. Consult your doctor before adding kale to your diet if you are on this type of medication. I'm Catherine Sokolosi, and this has been your Health Minute.
Let's go back outside to our weather specialist to get a look at our 3-day forecast. John?
Thanks, Shelby. Did you guys know that rain can go down to 22 miles per hour when it's falling? Well, luckily for us, nothing like that's going to happen tomorrow. Let's take a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Our 3-day forecast says tomorrow will be mainly sunny with a high of 13 degrees and a low of 7. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 14 degrees and a low of 7. And it looks like we're going to have a bright Friday, mainly anyways, with a high of 13 degrees and a low of 5. Again, we here at MediaPlex advise you to bundle up. Also, don't forget to check out the Candidate Ward 3 debate on TV Cogeco tomorrow at 4 p.m., Channel 11. I'm Jonathan Hutton, sending it back to Shelby.
One of Windsor's longtime establishments is in danger of closing. Taylor Bush reports.
The Teutonia Club of Windsor held their annual Oktoberfest this past weekend, but not everyone was in a festive mood.
Being for sale, and we have been for sale for a couple years, it kind of does look like it might be the last one for us here at Teutonia Club.
Due to decreasing membership and increasing debt, Barron says it might not be long before the Teutonia Club closes its doors for good.
I think financially our club is getting old with our members, and we're not getting younger members here to support the club, so I think that's kind of our downfall.
Julie Lautenbacher is one of the dance teachers for the club. She hopes to continue teaching for years to come.
Well, if this was the last Oktoberfest, it would really sadden me because I've been coming here since I was a little girl, celebrating the traditions and cultures of my grandparents. And it would be disappointing that I couldn't celebrate this with my children and their children.
Though this is the 79th year for the Teutonia Club, they haven't always had their hall. Before they secured the property at 55 Edinburgh, members say they used to meet in houses, church basements, and local parks. Club President Christine Erdman is a longtime member and says if the club closes, the older members will be affected the most.
So therefore, we are looking at our avenues of selling the club to move somewhere smaller, or whoever buys it, perhaps we can stay here and rent from them, because this really is our home.
The biggest thing members say they would miss about the club is its food. Christina Dunk has worked in the kitchen for a number of years and says she is hopeful the club will remain open.
I mean, everybody is struggling. You go to a Caboto club, you hear everybody, you know. I mean, you have a lot of competition here. Every business is struggling now. So, not only the club. But you know what? They said last year, before Christmas, they said, you know what, I don't think we're going to be here maybe for January. Look at, it's October and we're still here.
If the club does remain open into the new year, their main goal will be to increase membership. Barron said he hopes someone will buy the hall and allow the members to continue using it.
Hopefully someone will step forward and make an offer. And they won't be saving the club, but at least the Teutonia Club will have a place maybe to still continue their traditions and stuff.
Reporting for MediaPlex News Now, I'm Taylor Bush.
In this edition of Money Minute, Janai Linton-Hill discusses how students can balance school and finances.
Students face many challenges throughout the year, but none are more annoying and troublesome than the hunt for money. Finding time to balance a job and studies can be hard for some and impossible for others, and that's only if you can find one. But here are 3 ways to make easy cash on the side. Websites like Kijiji and Craigslist are showing up more and more, and it's never been easier time to sell old, unused items for quick and easy cash. Students can even buy things they need like textbooks for a cheaper rate than places like Amazon. Pawn shops are still around. Want something sold fast and without questions? Then pawn shops are the way to go. They offer great rates and will take anything from books and movies to bikes and clothes. Odd jobs are another great thing. People always need help and are willing to pay. Whether it be helping someone move, painting, or just babysitting, it's a great way to kill an afternoon and earn a little something on the side. For Money Minute, I'm Jonathan Hill.
The Windsor Spitfires are back on the ice, and today, Josh Dupuis had the chance to talk with one of them.
Hi, I'm Josh Dupuis, and today we are spending 3 minutes with Windsor Spitfire defenseman Patrick Sanvito. Now Patrick, June 28th was your birthday, and it's also the day that you were drafted to the Dallas Stars. Explain how much of an impact that was on your family.
It was probably one of the best birthdays I've ever had so far, and I mean, it was started out, I wasn't sure if I was going to get drafted or not, so my brother took me out golfing, so I was out on the course in the morning, and then kind of just taking my time. I wasn't really paying attention to the draft because if it happened, it happened. If it didn't happen, it was still my birthday. I was still going to celebrate it. So we went swimming afterwards because it was a hot day, and went home, and my mom was stressing out. She was sitting on the porch watching it on the iPad, and I was just kind of laxy-daisy. I went up, changed, came back downstairs, and then by the time I got downstairs, a few picks later, that's when I got drafted, and I found out, and everyone went nuts. Like, neighbors came over. My mom was screaming at the top of her lungs on the porch. Neighbors came over, is everything okay? And there was a lot of tears and emotion, so it was a very good day and a very good 18th birthday.
That's good. So going from that, you then go to your first training camp. How was that for you?
It was a little bit nerve-wracking. I went to development camp first, and they did a really good job. I went right into Dallas. They treated everyone like professionals. It was long days. It was hard, but it was good to get used to the organization and get on the ice with some of the guys from Dallas and see the coaches and meet the GM and stuff like that. And then towards the end of the summer, I went to the rookie camp in Traverse City, and it was pretty nerve-wracking then, actually playing games with like all the rookies in the Dallas organization. And so it was, once I got the first period out of the way, I felt like I settled in pretty well, but it was still quite nerve-wracking, but I had a lot of fun.
Now, you were chosen to wear the A on your chest this year. Now, what does being a captain mean to you?
It's an honor. I know that it's a big responsibility too. Every night you got to give a full effort, even if it's not your best night. You still need to be working hard. And I know there's some guys on the team that'll look up to me, and I need to take on that leadership role now. And especially for some of the young guys, I know what it was like my first year in the league. We have quite a few guys. I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 guys. It's their first year, and so I'm just doing my best to try to help them adjust. It's hard living away from home at 16. Sometimes Daniel Verity's 15 years old, and so it's just doing my best to help them adjust and feel comfortable and excel at the arena, and so it's a big responsibility, but I look forward to taking it on this year.
Well, now this season you started off a little bit slow. But with Josh Hosang coming back, it's your first time you're going to have the entire team together. Now, how much does that help? And realistically, what do you think the Spitfires will be at the end of the season?
I mean, Josh, he's obviously a really good player. He just got back from an NHL camp, so his confidence is high. He's a 100-point guy, I believe. So he'll be a first-line player. So with him, we'll be a much different team. We'll score some goals and hopefully win a few more games than what we have.
I'm Josh Dupuis, and we just spent 3 minutes with Patrick Sanvito.
Youth basketball is alive and well in Windsor, and as Aaron Sanders reports, we may have some upcoming stars.
As you enter Stags on Windsor's West End, you would see some basketball players practicing, more specifically, the South Windsor Warriors. The Warriors are preparing for their upcoming season. The practice and discipline makes the team of 10 to 13-year-olds play like well-seasoned veterans. Head coach Bradley Smalls believes that leadership is the most important trait to team sports.
First of all, you got to be a leader. Somebody's got to step out as a leader, and we had a couple guys have already stepped out to be that leader. And it's just a matter of appointing one of them the leader, and then them leading the team to the promised land.
From running suicides to basketball drills, the players strive to perform one step ahead of their future competition. Rhodey Maslin explains what makes a team successful.
That we work as a team and hard work and we're committed.
But how does the coach feel about his team this year?
Team's all right. You know, we've got a lot of returning guys, a lot of guys left, but you know, makes it easier for playing time and makes it a good competition battle going on.
Mazantias says that he wants to show the new players to the Warriors that they are a running team and not a walking one.
Preparations for the season for the South Windsor Warriors has begun. Starting mid-October, all it takes is a tough 2-month war for that quest for the championship. Aaron Sanders for MNN, MediaPlex, News Now.
The Windsor International Film Festival is on the horizon. Ashley Ann Mentley has some special guests to tell us about it.
This is the 10th anniversary of the Windsor International Film Festival. The 9-day event runs from November 1st to November 9th. One of the highlights of the festival is the 48-hour Flick Fest. My guests certainly know a lot about the Flick Fest. I'm joined here by Lana Oppen. She received her Computer Science and Communications, Media and Film degree with a focus on filmmaking from the University of Windsor. She's the program manager of the 48-hour Flick Fest and WIF's student showcase 100 Mile Shorts. Also with me is Maria Cusimano. She's a filmmaker. Her short film, Aqua in Boca, received the Audience Choice Award at the University of Windsor Film Festival. She participated in the 2012 48-hour Flick Fest as cinematographer and editor for the award-winning short, A Rose For. Lana, could you please describe for us the 48-hour Flick Fest?
Sure. 48-hour Flick Fest is a regional filmmaking challenge, and it truly is a challenge because you have 48 hours to write, shoot, edit, and score the film, with some stipulations that we give you at the beginning of the challenge. So things like a prop or a line of character. And this time we also add in a random genre that the teams will be picking, and also the architecture of the Windsor, so you will be able to use one of the Windsor's landmarks as part of the films. So you have 48 hours, and the challenge starts on the 17th of October, ends on 19th of October, 7 p.m., and the gathering place is actually here at MediaPlex. So you guys will be hosting 48-hour Flick Fest this year, and we thank you. And yeah, it's just a fun, spirited event where regional filmmakers come here and you know, make their shorts anywhere from a minute to 5 minute long.
So who can enter the 48-hour Flick Fest?
Any levels of filmmaking. Really, this is all about, you know, going out there and having fun and creating your films. So we have teams.
All right, thank you. And Maria, we'll jump to you. Can you please tell us about your experience with Flick Fest?
Oh, well, my experience with Flick Fest was great. It was probably one of my most formative experiences as a filmmaker because it really brings you together with other people who perform different roles on set.
Will you be participating in this year's Flick Fest?
Yep, I'm going to be participating this year.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. And just a reminder that the International Film Fest will be happening November 1st through November 9th at the Capitol Theater. Back to you, Shelby.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Shelby Hernandez, and this has been MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.